Hello, hello, hello. We are one day away from the completion of filming season 4. This is our unofficial wrap party. I am in Utah right now, and tomorrow is our last day of filming. Sorry, just had to get a quick little cat nap in. We're crawling across the finish line, but we are so close. I can see it, and I just wanted to celebrate with you because we are so close. We've got so much tonight for you. I've got Jonathan Roumie coming here in a few minutes. We're going to take your questions about season 4. You're going to hear from him about how it's going, how it's been, and we've also got tonight is it's almost the last night for the 20% off in the gift store at thechosengifts.com. I'm going to show you some new stuff we've got, but everything in the store is 20% off. Everything in the new store. Everything in the store, including new things, is 20% off at thechosengifts.com, and that ends at the end of July, so we're almost done there. And yes, I do in fact have a sneak peek of season 4 because I've edited the first 3 episodes. Yes, that's what I do in my spare time. I edit the episodes we are filming, and the first 3 episodes, the rough cuts are done, and I am going to show you a rough cut of one of the scenes. And the scene includes Jonathan, and he hasn't seen it yet. And I'm going to show it to you and him at the same time, and we'll see how he feels about it. I have a feeling he's going to like it, but you never know. So one thing you need to understand is that if you are watching this after Sunday night, then the season 4 sneak peek is not actually going to be there, because later tonight, sometime in the middle of the night, we will be taking it down. We'll try to give a chance to some of our international brothers and sisters to get a chance to see it, but then we're taking it down because I do not want you or anyone to be sharing this all over the internet, so please respect that, but we are going to be taking it down later, so make sure if you're watching right now, thank you. If you're watching later, you might have missed it. I'm sorry. So a couple of quick updates. It has been a big couple of weeks for The Chosen. Oh, by the way, real quick, if you're watching on YouTube right now, make a comment, say something, say where you're from. Just type in the number 1, something that communicates to the YouTube algorithm that, hey, we're here, this is active, this is going well, everyone's having fun, and then it gets in front of other people because that's how we actually, some people find The Chosen as they see it come across their feed because YouTube says, wow, this is an exciting live stream. Same thing on Facebook, do the same. And now if you're watching in the Chosen app, which is probably the best place to watch it, there's no point in typing anything. You don't have to unless you want to ask some sort of question. That's all great. But one of the things that I wanted to share with you is that we are actually growing fast, just even in the last month. There has been so much attention on The Chosen. And season 3 actually just debuted on Amazon Prime. The first 3 seasons are on Amazon Prime. They're on Peacock. And of course, they're free and easy on the Chosen app and the Angel Studios app. If you do not have the Chosen app, there's a lot of exclusive content you can't get anywhere else, like some of these live streams. And so please make sure that you download the Chosen app. It's totally free. It's totally easy. Cast to your TV. You can watch it on most of the streaming platforms. But Amazon this week, now I don't know exactly where it is right now. I haven't checked. But at one point this week, The Chosen was the number 3 most viewed TV show on all of Amazon Prime. So you can actually help it get even higher if you just at some point after this live stream, if you want to go check it out, you want to go watch it on Amazon Prime. And maybe let's get that rating up higher. Let's get it up to number 1, maybe. Wouldn't that be very cool? Another thing that I wanted to mention to you is that it has been showing on the CW. Now, why is this interesting? Well, tonight, I'm actually watching to make sure that we are done before 8 o'clock Eastern, because I want you to go check out episode 3 on the CW. If you don't know where the CW is, do a Google search, you can find it easily. But we want to thank the CW. We want to make sure that them showing it on broadcast television, which is the first time it's ever been shown on broadcast television. It's been on cable, but it hasn't been on broadcast television. We want to make sure that they're rewarded for that. In the first week, it had very big ratings, some of the biggest ratings they've had in a long time, way bigger than they'd had in the same time slot the week before. The other thing I want you to keep in mind is that the sponsors. So I know you might not like watching commercials, but commercials are how the CW can actually air it. And so make sure that if you see a commercial, see one of the sponsors, just make a note, see a couple of the sponsors, and then send them something, maybe on social media, send a thank you to say, hey, thank you for sponsoring this airing of The Chosen. We appreciate it. That's how it was able to get to national television. But over 500,000 people watched episode 1 of season 1. just a couple weeks ago. And then it only went down about 7% the second week, which is actually really good because typically you'd think it'd go down even more because people now know, oh, I can watch it, I can find it free, it's been out for 4 years, but they're still watching. So we want to make sure we keep those ratings high. So please go check it out at 8 o'clock Eastern and tell your friends and also let the sponsors know. All right, one thing I also want to show you is the fact that the SAG Actors Guild, the Screen Actors Guild, which is called SAG, as you know, they are currently on strike, but we happen to get an exemption. Now, what we did was we signed what's called an interim agreement. So this is the agreement that SAG offered the Producers Guild, and because we agreed to it for our last 2 weeks of filming, we actually got a chance to finish our filming. We are currently, as of this moment, the only TV show in all of the country filming. Now, that's really cool in and of itself, but one of the really cool things about it is that it got a ton of attention all over mainstream media. So we were on CNN, we were on CBS News, we were, I got interviewed by Rolling Stone. There was an article there about us. It was really cool to be the only TV show going in America. So a lot more people heard about it, so that was really awesome. So that's another big thing that's happened just in the last couple weeks that has really allowed the show to expand. I also want to tell you about ChosenCon. Now, ChosenCon is sold out in person. So it's going to be in, what are the dates of ChosenCon, Durbin? Do you know, Steve? October something? You're just shaking your head. Clueless. My team around me just doesn't even know when ChosenCon is. You're going to be there, right?
Yeah, we'll be there.
October something. October 14, 15. Thank you, Steve. October 14, 15, ChosenCon. Now, we sold out in about a day. But you can still check it out virtually. So those tickets are going to be going on sale soon. And I wanted to let you know that if you join the Chosen Insiders group, and this is called, the conference is actually called the Chosen Insiders Conference. I'm going to be there. Actors are going to be there. We've got panel discussions. We've got so much that's in store for you. It's going to be really, really cool. So you can actually watch it virtually. And those tickets are going on sale soon. But if you go to the Chosen Insiders Facebook page, so just go on Facebook, look up Chosen Insiders, you will find us. It's totally free. It doesn't require anything for you to join it. It's where we give you daily updates from the set. It's a really, really cool Facebook group. If you join that, then we are going to actually be giving a discount code when those tickets go on sale. That's the only place you're going to be able to get that discount code. It's a really good reason for you to join the Chosen Insiders Facebook page. We'll be giving you a discount for the virtual attendance of the ChosenCon. Now, while I'm on that topic, there's also a fan club on Facebook, so you can look up the Chosen Fan Club. There's over 95,000 people there. All they do is talk about the Chosen. It's really cool. And then my own text community. This number is going to come up along the screen. Colin will put it up. 214-239-1527. Go ahead and text me. Now, I'm not going to be able to see all of the texts, I'll be honest, but I try to see some of them, and I send you a text about once a week. It is totally free. It doesn't require anything of you. You just have to sign up very quickly, and I give special discounts you can't get anywhere else at the gift store. I give you inside info you can't get anywhere else. I sometimes send videos, whatever, but that's just something that I just do as a thank you. Another cool thing about the last couple weeks that has been really big for The Chosen, Newsweek just came out with a cover article about Jesus and Hollywood and how it's become a big topic. And Jonathan's coming on in a few minutes. We're going to talk to him about it. But it talks extensively about The Chosen. It talks about Jesus Revolution, and talks about the fact that these kinds of projects are becoming bigger and bigger. And so you got to check that out. Make sure that you see that Colin's putting up an image of the Newsweek cover. And we were also on the cover of TV Guide. Yay, Mom, I made it. When I was a kid, I used to look through TV Guide at all the things I wasn't allowed to watch because I wasn't allowed to watch much TV when I was growing up. And if you would have told me then, eventually your show about Jesus is going to be on the cover of TV Guide, I never would have believed it. But this was all over the country. I know you might be watching going, I didn't know TV Guide still existed. It does, because some people still do watch television. We were on the cover. We've got to be one of the first times in history that an image of a portrayal of Jesus has been on the cover. So that was a mind trip, really cool. And they have a nice article inside of it, so you can go to like Barnes & Noble or some grocery stores, or just go online and you can find it. It makes a nice little collector's item too if you want to do it. All right, so before I bring Jonathan out, I want to briefly tell you about the fact that you can get 20% off at thechosengifts.com. www.thechosengifts.com. Now, 20% off everything in the store, as in everything, as in like 17 out of 17 things. but there's even more than 17. 20% off everything in the store from now until the end of July. You may have already taken advantage of this, but there's also a couple of new items. So for example, this massive tumbler, it's Jelaine can actually fit in this thing. And she's going to come out here and show you one of the other new gifts in just a second. But this is an amazing new tumbler. And as huge as it is, it actually fits into your car, what do you call those, cup holders? Yeah, cup holders. My wife Amanda was like saying, I really want one of those really big tumblers, and I actually want it to fit into my car cup holder. And so she asked, and we answered, and this is really awesome. We've got new wristbands, so it comes in like this container. We've been selling wristbands for a while, but we've got some new ones. We got the 5 and 2, the Binge Jesus, 2 plus 5 equals 5,000. The Get Used to Different, and then the Not What We Were, which is the shirt that I'm wearing, which is also 20% off everything in the store. Most of the items that you purchase, you have this little sticker that come on them, just comes along with it. The new novel, the season 3 novel, I believe, I think it's a season 3 novel. You just check, but any purchase over $20, which is pretty much almost every item, you get the free novel, just gets added to it. So that's really cool. The new tank top, which I'm not going to wear because of my ridiculous tan line that has come from shooting in Texas and Utah. But this is actually super comfortable. I wear it when I work out. Cool people wear it out in the wild. I don't, because I'm not cool enough. And I turned 48 a few days ago. And when you're 48 and you got this kind of a tan line, you don't wear tank tops out in public. But I do wear it when I work out. It's really, really cool. There's a men's and women's version, so you can check that out. That's new. And then the new crew neck. We actually have a crew neck. We've never had one before. All of my younger friends have been begging for it. And so Jelaine, come out here too. You're going to look better than I do. Jelaine's wearing it. We didn't have her size.
Yes.
Do that again. That was really creepy. Yeah.
Remember when people used to do this?
Yes. We've lost control.
But look at the logo.
Yeah, the 3 Fish logo. Very simple, very classy, very cool. And
Very cozy inside.
right. So I'm going to bring out Jonathan here, but before I do, I wanted to, because normally I sing the jingle. Well, it was my birthday a few days ago, and my in-laws, they're actually great singers. Amanda is a singer, and her brother was a Broadway star for several years. And her sister leads worship at a church, and her parents, they used to do albums, they used to tour the country. And so when they were sending me a birthday gift, they were wondering what to send. And Amanda said, why don't you just go ahead and sing something? And they ended up singing the jingle briefly, and I just wanted you to hear it because their voices are beautiful. So we're going to play this real quick, and while it's playing, it's very short. Jonathan's going to hustle out here, and he's going to be sitting down when he comes back. When we come back from this video, and we're going to take your questions. I hope you've been sending them. We've already got some that have been coming in throughout the week, and we're going to answer them. So watch this, the greatest version of the jingle ever sung, right now.
thechosengifts.com.
All right. Took this off. I felt like I disappeared a little bit into the background. Hello.
Hello. How are you feeling? There. Gling, gling, gling.
All right. Good. Just needed that. I do that occasionally now. Well, how are you feeling? Because
You don't want me to answer
No,
that
I
on
know.
live stream.
because yesterday we filmed another scene out in the 100-degree Utah heat.
103, 104.
Yeah, and then tomorrow though we've got one more. I think tomorrow's actually gonna be fun. We've got a really lovely scene
It's a beautiful scene.
that I can't wait to do, and then there's a fun one. We can't talk about this much.
Yeah.
A fun scene that's doesn't have any. They're telling us to sit up a little bit straighter. All right.
So, talking about the scene for tomorrow. Yeah.
Been working out. All right. So we got some questions, and some of these questions have been selected explicitly to talk about some of the things that I was actually hoping for us to talk about. So this is cool. So Ricky J. Mark, all one word, says, "How are you guys doing? Honestly, is it well with your souls?" That's a really nice question because we're joking around a little bit, but we are actually quite exhausted.
Yes.
It is an exhausting process. 76 days of filming. Originally it was going to be 75. SAG strike delayed a day. But yeah, I am excited to be done. Excited to get back home. How are you? How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm ready to be on a break. Yeah, I'm ready to be done. It's been quite a ride this season. It's going to be an amazing season. It's going to be. I still don't know how to wrap my head around explaining it to people.
Yeah, they've been asking like, "What's the theme?" And I'm like, yeah,
yeah. But I won't get to go home and rest just yet because I'm going to Portugal for a week for World Youth Day.
Oh,
So I'll be a little bit of globetrotting before I get to lay my head down. But it's all good.
yes. And I always describe it like this. My dad said something that I really agreed with. My dad has written over 200 novels. Well, not just novels, books,
200?
fiction, nonfiction. Yes, he's one of the most prolific authors in history. And he said, I'm not sure I love writing. I love having written. And I'm like, that resonates.
Yeah.
Now, there are times when we really enjoy the process.
Yes.
But overall, like I would say, like, I'm not sure I love it the whole time. It's very exhausting. It's hot.
I think if it were shorter bursts,
yeah.
like 5 months
Yeah, this was tough
is
without much of a
it's
break.
a lot. Yeah, with
without much
very
of a
little
break.
breaks.
Yeah. But
It's going to be amazing.
it is going to be amazing. And I love that we did it.
Yeah.
Right? You know, like I'm glad it was worth it. There's a great line in League of Their Own where Gina Davis, her character, quits right before the playoffs. And she says it just got too hard. And Tom Hanks says, of course it's hard. It's supposed to be hard. If it wasn't hard, everyone would do it.
That's right.
The hard is what makes it great. And I'm like, that resonates. So hard.
It's like labor, you know. It's like it's
and we're
painful.
perfectly qualified to
We're
talk
perfectly
about it.
qualified to talk about labor.
Yeah.
But seeing looks on women's faces when they're in labor, I'm like, that looks really hard.
Yeah.
But then you got a kid.
Yeah. So let's just tell all the
let's
women
just-
out there who've had babies, see, it's all worth it.
But
Yeah. So this is for some of them
just
are
get
kind
a
of
shovel and keep digging that hole.
some of them were kind of directed toward me, some toward you, but they kind of apply to both of us.
Yeah.
Melissa asks, how does season 4 compare to previous seasons in regard to filming and emotionally? So the filming process, I would still say season 3 was harder because out in those fields for a couple weeks with no break. But you guys have, I've heard a
don't
couple from a
know.
couple of you that were like, oh, this was harder.
No, I think this was harder because there was more stuff in fields. There was more
Like the
walking.
walking
There was the
talks,
walking, and then it wasn't just walk and talks, but it was walk and talks in extreme weather with lots of wind and dust and dirt and just hitting you in the face all the time, more or less. So I think the general consensus was that this felt harder than last season. We thought last season was harder, but then we were like, I think this one tops it so far.
Okay.
I think season 4 tops
Good
it.
to know.
Yeah.
Emotionally speaking, I have come away from this season, the more scenes we do, going, wow, this is even more intense than I thought and I remembered. And it's turning out actually better than I expected. I actually think this is going to be the most impactful season we've ever done, emotionally and spiritually.
Didn't you say, I feel like you said to me early on, you thought that this was going to be kind of a lighter season in a lot of respects, emotionally for most people.
Because there wasn't as much of there's not as much of like the big Bible miracles.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Bible. There's actually tons of Bible in this series, in this season. But I just thought, oh, maybe it's not quite, last year we had, feeding the 5,000, walking on water, the Jairus and Veronica and Eden, the miscarriage and Barnaby and Shula. And I'm like, oh, this season doesn't have quite as many of those. And then now I'm watching, I'm going, oh, wow.
You're like,
it's deeper.
It's different, and I think it's deeper.
Daniel asks, is Gaius' son going to be healed this season? Okay, Leslie asks, when can we look forward to season 4? I have the other 3 almost completely memorized. Love you all. Season 4 is actually coming in theaters. Yes, in Leigh and I, early February. I see Jelaine clapping. And we're looking towards actually releasing all of the episodes in theaters this year, not just 2 of them. Yeah.
What?
And you've filmed some of these, and don't you think like sometimes you guys will be like, this belongs in theaters, and we're like, yes, we're going to do that. So it's probably going to be sometime in January, February, probably February. So yeah,
I'm genuinely shocked. I had no idea.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah. Wow. We're not certain, obviously, but we're Judy's out.
How do you?
Debbie asks, will we see more Mother Mary and Jesus scenes in season 4? We're filming one tomorrow. That's not a huge spoiler.
Okay.
It's a scene between Mother Mary and Jesus.
That's right.
That's why I was saying I'm looking forward to tomorrow because it's a good one.
That's a good one.
It's really cool.
Yeah,
and you
it's
see a lot of like
really unique.
Like there's some depth to it, but then there's all like intense depth, like major depth.
Yeah.
But then there's also some like really fun, like mother-son stuff.
There's this stuff that's the hallmark of The Chosen, which is situations you've never seen before, and maybe never even imagined seeing before, like or even thought of like that situation. Like, wow, I never would have imagined what this looks like, and here it is, and this makes.
And then you go,
this is
it
great.
makes perfect sense.
Makes total sense.
Yeah. There's teasing. There's like little memories and stuff. It's really cool. I can't wait for it. Giorgio Bianchi-Cililia.
Giorgio Bianchi-Cililia.
Yes. That's all one word, apparently. So that's a good name. In which season are we going to see the Passion of the Christ, please? He says, please. You can tell like
I'm
Google
looking for my
Translate.
death, please.
Yes. That's not a spoiler. We've told people season 6 is going to be the Passion of the Christ. Season 7 is what happens afterwards. Pilot Jennifer 47. I don't think that's a real name.
I don't know.
Will you release the first 2 episodes in the theaters? That is so much fun. Already answered that one. Laura_McColash. Tell us more about the Chosen Con. So excited. All right. So yeah, I did already address some of that. You're going to be there.
Judy's out.
Judy's out.
We'll see. There's a few things that are pending schedule-wise, so we have to figure it out. I would love to be there, so we'll see. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, but a lot of the cast is going to be there. Writers, Amanda. We do a lot of like panel discussions, and it's going to be really cool. So you definitely want to check it out virtually if you don't have tickets. Next year we're going to do it again, but this time we're like this year we had like 2,500 seats. We just didn't know what to expect, and it sold out in like less than a day. Wow. So we're like, oh, okay. So and people
is it in like a hotel or something?
It's like the
convention center.
The Hilton Anatole in Dallas.
Okay.
Next year, I think I can't announce too much about it, but we're going to a bigger place. It's gonna be 10,000 people that we're gonna invite next year.
Awesome.
Or give the opportunity to. Yeah.
Cool.
Kimberly 2M, what type of project would you like to do after The Chosen? So we are working on a lot of things that we'll be announcing eventually. I've got a movie that I'm very passionate about that I've been chasing for years that I might be able to get to do sometime in the near future. But after The Chosen's done, can we nap for about a year?
I would like that.
Yeah.
Like on a beach somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm planning to do.
That sounds like a good idea.
But there's other Bible stories to tell too.
Endless stories.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Braden Jacobs, what is one Bible verse that describes season 4? Boy. So here's what's...
How do you say that without like giving things away?
Yeah. So I will say this. I said to some people last year, the theme was come to me, all you who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. And this season, Jesus is weary and heavy laden. Isn't that true?
Very well put.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So last year he was like, I give you rest. And this year now he needs
He's
rest.
like, oh no, it's all on me.
That's like exactly how episode 3 goes.
That's one of the scenes.
Oh no, it's all me. No, because as we approach Holy Week, the weight of it starts to hit Jesus. And he starts to be more, not depressed, but like saddened. Not even necessarily that he's going to die, which is of course sad, but that he has to, that there's no choice. And also that his followers aren't quite getting it. And the religious leaders aren't quite getting it. And Jerusalem isn't getting it. There's a lot of scenes that we've been filming where, like, in the middle of the scene, we didn't even plan it, where you just start plan it, where you just start getting emotional because the weight of what's coming and what's happening around you and your friends. There's a lot of friendship. There's a lot of, like, everyone's getting closer.
And the inevitability of all of it.
Yeah.
It's just unavoidable.
Yeah. And we start shifting towards intentional. So if you think about maybe the first couple of years of Jesus's ministry, he was saying, don't tell people that I'm the Messiah. Like, he was really pouring into others. And then we start to approach Holy Week and he starts orchestrating things. Like, it's almost like because you and I talk about this a lot when we're planning a scene. How much does Jesus actually know? Because the tradition is just like, oh, he knows everything. But there's clear in Scripture that sometimes things moved him, and that the Father revealed to him, and that he said, I got this power from the Father. And so we, as an actor, you have to deal with that. Like, am I playing this as with God goggles on?
Yeah.
Or am I playing this with my human, eyes? And we play with that a little bit. And this year, as we approach Holy Week, there's far more of this is happening on purpose to cause this to happen, to bring X about. Yeah, it's a lot of that.
Yeah, it's like walking that line.
And it's sad. Like, now I have to do this. So this question specifically from George X. Xanthus, George H. Xanthus, George Harrison Xanthus. That name sounds familiar. He might be the actor who plays John. He says, I have a question for Jonathan. Does he still have my Tupperware container?
See, the funny thing about George H. Xanthus is that his memory kind of gets a little shoddy. I actually gave it to him at the end of season 3. So I do not, George.
Okay.
You have your own Tupperware container.
Okay, good to know.
Thank you.
Great.
So sorry we had to air out that dirty line.
Yeah, that was awkward.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you had that level of angst.
Yeah. Well, you just,
Temper.
It's, wait till, wait till you see season 4.
Jonathan Roumie fan page asks, I wonder who they're going to aim this question to.
I think they're one of George's fans.
After The Chosen, where do you see yourself as an actor?
On a beach somewhere.
Yeah, where? It's like, where do you see yourself?
Where exactly?
Yeah.
I don't. Right now it's everything's still kind of in limbo with the writer's strike and the actor's strike. So I think it's all going to depend on where the business is. So I won't have that much time. We'll have 6-8 months before we start shooting again. Probably 6 months before we get into season 5, something like that.
Yeah.
So won't be a whole lot of time. But if everything is resolved shortly, which I don't know that it will be. I hope it will be, but I don't know. We could be doing another project. Probably just resting, trying to prep for season 5.
Yeah, you did Jesus Rev in between seasons 3 and 4.
That's right.
Which was worth it, but it was another one of those things where you showed up. No, it was between season 2 and 3 that you filmed it.
That's right.
Yes.
2 and 3.
And it was worth it, but you showed up for season 3 and you felt a little behind prep-wise. It was very exhausting.
Yeah, and I'd also finished shooting a documentary at the time.
Oh, right.
At the same time. Right. So, I don't know, but
after the real quick, because we've got about half an hour left before we want to send people to the CW.
The entire series. That's what they're asking.
Yes. That's what, yeah.
For some reason, I just pictured the season.
Yeah. No.
Oh, the whole series.
So what's it like?
Geez.
Like, do you have a role or a type of role that you would really like that's still on your bucket list? We've talked about how now that we've got a taste of doing projects of impact like this, it's like, if it doesn't have that kind of impact, why do it?
It's kind of hard.
And you've got like bucket lists, like playing a superhero or something like that. But is there like I'd really love to do a horror film, or I'd really love to do a comedy, or
There's a few genres.
Yeah.
One is, and I've talked about this a little bit. I would love to do a really well-made exorcist film, like kind of a throwback to like the original, where the characters felt like real priests as opposed to like caricatures of priests. Or Western, something I would like to tackle. and sci-fi. So I just shaved my whole head.
Yeah.
Or something.
Western.
I can't do too much.
Western would be really cool.
Western would be
and,
awesome.
You have actually exercised a few demons in The Chosen.
That's right. That's right. So I've
including
got a
one
little
this
bit
season, actually.
A little practice.
Oh, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Labrina asks, without giving too much away, what season 4 episode do you think we should be on the lookout for that will be the most impactful and why?
You can't pick one.
I can.
Can you? I don't know. There's a few.
Episode 7, man.
Oh,
That's like,
yeah.
that's intense.
I mean,
And the ending of it, we filmed some of that last night.
what about 4 though?
4, oh, yeah. Yeah.
There's probably a sliding scale.
Yeah.
There's so many.
Yeah. This is a really impactful, like, this is an intense season.
Yeah.
I'm getting more and more excited about you seeing it. We're going to show the clip that we're going to show in just a couple minutes is from episode 3, which is quite intense, as you know. Yeah, this is they're all impactful. But you also asked why. Episode 7 for me has a conclusion, like the last 7 or 8 minutes. Are what I believe to be some of the most impactful stuff we've ever done. The writing of it, I have to give credit to, all 3 of us obviously always contribute, but this was one of my co-writers who came up with this idea that is just beautiful. And it's kind of a summary of things that have happened with this immense scriptural truth about the fact that life on this side of heaven is both bitter and sweet. And that even when Jesus would do good things, sometimes he would be sad. And sometimes during sadness, he would talk about joy and how we're still trying to wrestle with it. Even today, we can't quite make sense of it. Why does Jesus have to suffer? We talk about that, and it's jaw-dropping, I think. Like, I cry all the time, reading it, filming it, all of that. Maria asks, which cast member makes you laugh the most?
I like how you put a trill on her.
Maria.
Her name, Maria.
Maria.
Maria. Well, I don't know. Who makes you laugh the most?
I was asking you.
This is to me?
Yeah.
Oh. That's a good one. I don't know. There's a lot of funny people.
We have some
in
funny
this cast.
people in this cast.
I don't think I could pin it to
I would
one
say
person.
Luke, who plays Judas, has the most attempts because he's like kind of you can tell he's a bit of a class clown.
Yeah.
Like he had me laughing yesterday so hard I was crying. Like he can be really funny. He's really fast.
Yeah.
And just yesterday when we were filming a scene with the 2 of you, like you guys started ad-libbing a bit. It was really funny.
Yeah, actually, him and Demetrius, who plays.
Oh yeah,
Lazarus,
Demetrius who
is
plays
also
Lazarus.
really
The 2 of you get together and it's.
Yeah.
But even that's more actually on camera.
Yeah.
But off camera, George and you seem
is funny.
to make each other laugh because you're doing voices a lot.
Even Paris comes up with some
Yeah.
really funny witticisms. And,
They're all. We have a funny cast. All right, Carly Moore, 022. Carly is the
We've met
one
Carly,
who's
haven't
she's severely physically handicapped.
yes.
But is like such a huge Chosen fan. Has been so supportive, so wonderful. Is in your opinion, which season has been the hardest to act?
This one.
Well, that was quick.
Don't even have to think about it.
okay.
Hands down.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, thank you. I was thinking.
But it's worth it, right? The heart is what makes it great, right?
Is it? Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Ember Star 18. Are the costumes comfortable? It's a good question. This
Some
is the
of
last
them are.
question we have. Yeah.
Some of them are. We have costume changes over the seasons. Some are warmer than others, and when you're in 104 degrees, it's not that comfortable. But if we're in 30 degrees, it's great. So it depends on the season. But yeah, generally the fabrics are fantastic. We have a brilliant costume
Our
design.
costume department is
Yeah.
awesome. And Leila is our
whole-
costumer.
yeah.
And she's not only making brilliant costumes, but she's thinking of you guys. And how can we,
The utility of
how can we, and like the sandals, like that was like a game changer.
Oh, yeah.
When she started providing more comfortable sandals, the high tops, because we're walking out in the dust and then the bugs and the like pricklies.
thorns,
Yeah.
fire ants.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
So yeah, our costumes are awesome. Lila's terrific, and her whole team.
And our
She's got a
wardrobe
great team.
and costume team, fantastic.
Absolutely. So it is time to show you a new scene from season 4. Jonathan has not
I have
seen
not
this
seen this
at all.
I don't know what it is.
After we watch it, we'll talk about it briefly because we've got about 25 minutes left. And then I've got a letter that I want Jonathan to read that he also hasn't seen. I read it for the first time a few days ago. It was really impactful, and I think Jonathan is also going to find it really impactful, and you are going to find it really impactful. And then I will let you go
Okay.
and go sleep so you can be prepared for tomorrow's big day.
Show up.
And then, and then I've got a little surprise for you, so stick around for that. But let's show this scene from episode 3 of season 4. The setup is that Jesus is intentionally going to preach a sermon just outside the synagogue on Shabbat, and with the purpose of actually causing a little bit of reaction, because there has been an edict given, that has said, come from Jerusalem. So word is starting to spread in Jerusalem is saying, we need to find this Jesus of Nazareth, and you need to catch him in blasphemy, catch him saying or doing something wrong so that it can be reported to us immediately. And so he starts preaching, and that's why the Pharisees show up. Some familiar faces show up to try to kind of catch him in the act. And so that's the background. Now remember, this is a rough cut, so there's no music, there's no color correction, there's no audio correction. So this is typically one of the worst versions of a scene. But because you are part of this, because your contributions and your support and your prayers, we'd like to give you guys advance notice sometimes. So here is this scene from season 4, episode 3.
Wow. Man,
Intense, right?
That came together real good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It's cool.
And that's just a rough cut.
Yeah, exactly. And the audio, like, you know how sometimes like the audio kind of dips down and then comes back
Louder,
up, like that'll all get fixed. And but yeah, you start to see the crowd reacting because he's saying such intense things to the religious leaders, which is so against tradition. And so as he's getting riled up, they're getting riled up, going, "Oh my gosh!" And the disciples are having to hold people back. And you see kind of their reactions. You see Mary Magdalene kind of like,
It's like,
I like this. And did you notice a return of season 1 character, Rivka, back, making an appearance? So yeah, the totality of that scene is probably 20 minutes.
wow.
And that's just a clip of it. But,
That's just a snippet, so it all builds.
so does it bring you back to filming it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was pretty intense on the day, and the guys, Philip and the guys who played the Pharisees, which is great.
Yeah.
Steve
plays Rabbi Akiva.
Yeah.
No, Rabbi Josiah,
Josiah.
who's from season 1, and then we reference him in season 1, and then he made a brief appearance in season 3.
Yeah.
He's really great. And Philip, who plays Rabbi Akiva, he's a powerhouse.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
awesome.
he's great. So yeah, isn't that
Jesus
cool?
in a whole other light. We haven't seen him in this light before, huh?
Yes, this is fun. All right, so this is a letter.
Now, what are you gonna make me cry when I read this?
You might. I did.
Boy.
But this is really, really cool.
I have not seen this.
Yeah, this letter is longer.
I wanted
than,
to pre-read it, and he wouldn't let me.
Yeah. But this letter is a little longer than I normally read. But it was so powerful. It was sent to the Come and See Foundation, and they're the ones who obviously you can donate to. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But this is really a really beautiful story, and the reason I wanted you to read it is because it's about obviously the work that we did last year. Particularly the walking in water. And again, it's about that, how hard it is to do sometimes, but why we do it, why it's worth it. So,
All right. Dear Dallas Jenkins and the chosen cast and crew, thank you for taking the time to read this lengthy but important letter. This is perhaps one of the most emotional and heartfelt letters I've ever written, so thank you for making time for me in your busy lives. My husband and I love the Chosen series and tell everyone we know about it. We binge-watched season 1 after our pastor and his wife told us about it. We again binge-watched season 2 as soon as it was released. Season 3, however, was a different story. My husband and I recently received a calling to move across the state for a ministry opportunity. He called us to build and open a retreat center for pastors and missionaries and their spouses. Our 3 kids and I relocated back at the end of November, while Luke stayed behind, 2.5 hours away, to finish work on our old house and sell it. Because we were apart, we decided to wait to watch The Chosen until the house was sold and we could watch season 3 together in our new home. Fast forward to February 15th. My husband met me for our first OBGYN appointment for our 4th baby. We got pregnant on Christmas Day when he was home at the new house to visit. After several quiet moments of looking at the ultrasound, we were told the baby had no heartbeat. I miscarried that night. I was 9 weeks and 2 days along. 4 days later, my husband was laid off from work. 6 days after that, our son fell through a glass china cabinet door and needed surgery and over 30 stitches by his eye. On the way home from the hospital that night, the brakes on our van had issues and we had to take it in the next day. 3 days pass, and my husband receives a termination letter from his employer. I was broken. I was crushed. I felt abandoned. I felt like God had called us and left us, caring for others who were pregnant or sick or needing finances, but leaving us to fend for ourselves. I didn't know if we were Job and Satan had picked us as his latest test subjects because we were faithful in following God into ministry, or if we were the fools of Proverbs who had fallen into the way of destruction. I tried to find comfort and hope in Scripture. I read and reread 2 Corinthians 4, verses 8 to 18, Isaiah 53, Psalm 91, Psalm 34, and the myriad of other verses. No matter how much Scripture I read or quoted, he never felt any closer. I longed, ached, yearned to feel my Father's arms around me, my healer, my comforter, protector, provider, peace, joy, hope, but he felt so distant. I still just saw the wind and waves of the storm all around me and my family, staring at the utility bill that's due next to an overdraw notice from your bank. It's a little hard to see past the paper and look onto the face of Christ. And then we watched season 3. During the days of the week of March 6th, Luke searched for jobs, did maintenance on the vehicles, worked on projects around the house, looked for possessions we had to sell, while I took care of our 3 kids, cleaned the house, sold stuff on Facebook Marketplace, and tried to forget about the miscarriage. Too many other things needed my attention. When I remembered my baby that was now gone, it hurt to breathe. I tried to sleep, but every night since the miscarriage, I couldn't rest. I woke up each morning feeling like I had spent all night wandering around in the dark, trying to find God, trying to see my baby's face, trying to ask God why, trying to hear my baby's voice. No matter how I tried to rationalize it, no matter how I tried to tell myself God knew what he was doing, nothing eased the hurt or brought me closer to him or gave me the comfort of my Father I was searching for so desperately. I tried to read my Bible, but it felt so impersonal, like it was written to someone else, someone not striving just to face each day. I tried to pray, but it felt like Jesus was too busy tending to someone else, helping a friend get pregnant, curing a classmate from cancer, blessing a cousin with a vacation, to see me or listen to me. God finally prompted us to watch The Chosen. Luke and I were together in the evenings for the first time in months. Our other DVDs were all still packed in boxes, and he must have known our hearts were ready to hear and see him. We watched 2 episodes a night. My heart ached for little James when Jesus told him to suffer here on earth for a little while, to be a testimony to others for all eternity. My heart broke with Mary of Magdala when Tamar helped her realize she was carrying shame that Jesus had already forgiven her for. My heart shattered for Eden when she miscarried and Jesus didn't stop it, and Simon wasn't there. My heart burned with Simon's when he saw Jesus healing others and providing for others, but not tending to him and his family and needs. I'm sure there are hundreds, thousands of others in this world who were touched in profound and life-changing ways by this season of The Chosen. But please believe me when I tell you that I think the season 3 finale was written just for me for such a time as this. When I was a child growing up in church, the miracle of Jesus and then Peter walking on water was always my favorite miracle. I couldn't tell you why. It just resonated with me from little on. When we first heard of The Chosen years ago and watched the very first episode and saw Simon Peter the very first time, the first thing I said to Luke about the show was, I wonder how they're going to pull off Peter and Jesus walking on the water. I'm crying now. At a time in my life when I couldn't see or feel God at all in my circumstances, when I thought Jesus had forgotten about me, the Lord's hand had been working and preparing for 25 years in my life for the episode he wrote and presented to me through all of you. I heard him. I saw him. I felt him. My heart sobbed as I cried with Simon. Don't let me go. Don't let me go. Don't let me go. I suddenly went from drowning in the waves of my traumatic life events to being held by Jesus, seeing it from his perspective. Our lives are so very short, like a vapor in light of eternity. God may have me endure 100 trials before I see his face, and he will use each one to reach someone else for his kingdom if I let him. My faith may be as small as a mustard seed, but as long as it is placed in him, that is what matters. He may call me out of my boat of a comfort zone to walk on the waves. As long as I keep my eyes on him, I will rise above them. He will never leave me or forsake me. He has removed my shame as far as the east is from the west, and I have no need to carry even an ounce of it with me now that I am forgiven. God cares for me and hears me and allows suffering to test my faith and share that faith with others who are hurting. I sleep at night now. The opening of Psalm 77, as it was read in the season finale, was how I felt those 3 weeks of sleeplessness. You chose the perfect psalm. That was the psalm my soul needed. Thank you for all the time and effort and thought and preparation you put into each and every episode, but especially that finale. Each and every person I am able to impact for the rest of my life will be a direct result of all of you. You created a turning point for me. I could have easily slipped into pain and bitterness and shut out my faith. You and your message and your work pulled me back. It centered me in his word. It set my feet upon the rock and gave me a firm place to stand. Thank you. All I have left to say is thank you. I wish I could hug each and every one of you. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May his face shine upon you, be gracious to you, and give you his peace. Shalom peace, peace that passes all understanding as you keep your hearts and minds focused on him. Thank you. Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, Tessa.
Tessa Farr.
Yeah.
Tessa.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember filming that scene and it was one of the hardest things I'd ever done. And then while you're doing it, you're not thinking about this. But then once you're done and you get to see the impact, it's a great privilege. So anyway,
Thanks for letting me share that.
yeah, man. Thanks for doing it.
Yeah.
Love you. I will see you tomorrow.
Buddy. Yeah.
We got an early morning.
All right. Get some rest.
Yeah. All right.
Bye, guys. See you soon.
Totally smooth. All right, we've got just a few minutes left, so I'm going to make this quick. One thing that I wanted to point out in light of that letter is that you are so much a part of that. You are part of being responsible for allowing us to make the show. As you know, the show is totally free. And one thing that I wanted to mention was that, as you've probably noticed in the last couple of months, the last month actually, boy, it's only been a month because it came out July 4th, is The Sound of Freedom, the movie from Angel Studios that they picked up, a movie that had been on the shelf for several years because other studios didn't think it would work. And Angel saw something in it. Angel Studios, of course, were part of the beginning of The Chosen. And they released this film, and it has been a monster success. By the time it's done with its run in theaters, it will probably approach $200 million gross within, probably 2 months. It's an extraordinary success. But it also makes an important point about what we're going through, what we deal with. Now, I'm not talking about the movie itself. The movie itself makes an important point, of course, about child trafficking. It's a beautiful movie with a beautiful story, a very important story. But one of the things I wanted to mention was, and I think this applies to you, is that this movie, which has so far been out for a little over a month, has already gross meaning this is money before like the theaters take a part and Angel Studios takes a part and all of that. But this movie has grossed more, and it will have grossed more in less than 2 months than The Chosen grossed all of last year. And Chosen last year, that of course includes distribution fees and the Angel Studios taking a fee from last year, and then of course more than anything is we have to take that money and put it towards season that we're shooting now, and the cost of doing business. And so when you buy tickets and you're putting your money towards it, comes in a lot faster. But The Chosen is free. So we occasionally might put some episodes out in theaters, and that generates a little bit of money. We actually don't see most of that because it goes to theaters and it goes to distribution fees, and then we get the rest. And so we make the show free. You choose to pay for it. And less than 5% of the people who watch the show all over the world actually contribute to the show in some way. So I just wanted to point that out because I think it's an important reminder that we actually want to keep the show free. This is not something that I'm saying that's bad news. The fact that people all over the world are seeing this for free, the fact that this family is able to watch this during a time when they're financially struggling is a good thing because you help make it happen. So we've actually still got a little over 3 seasons to do, including this one. So again, the money that you may see coming in, and when we're giving you the tracker of the funding for season 4, or when you see that it does well in theaters, you got to just remember that that's not, unlike a traditional movie, that's not just profit that we get to then hold on to. Now, eventually that may happen, but now it's money that goes into the next season. And right now, even when we're filming The Chosen, season 4, and sometimes it's like, boy, we are struggling. Like, it would have been nice to have a couple extra days of filming, but we couldn't afford to do that. The best way to make sure that we can produce the rest of this and future seasons, just so you know, and just to make sure that you're aware of it, is to donate to the Come and See Foundation. Colin can put up the website along the bottom of the screen. They're going to continue to translate the show into more languages. It's already been translated into dozens. Their goal and passion is to translate, and their intention, it will happen, is to translate it into over 600 languages around the world and ensure, the Come and See Foundation wants to ensure that we can complete this and the remaining seasons. I do want to mention to you, oh, by the way, I keep forgetting to tell you, I'm going to show you another scene. So I should have said that earlier so you wouldn't leave, but I'm about to show you another scene from season 4 really quickly. So pay attention, don't leave. So when you donate to the Come and See Foundation, of course, it is tax deductible. 100% of it actually goes to its intended purpose, stated purpose, which you can see on their website. And there aren't, in this case, distribution fees like there used to be when you would pay it forward, for example. So the best way to ensure that we finish this season and future seasons is to donate to the Come and See Foundation. One of the big successes of the Sound of Freedom is that at the end, it gives people the opportunity to pay it forward for other people to be able to get tickets for free. That's the kind of thing that we would love for you to do to the Come and See Foundation. And in this case, it is totally tax deductible. All right, I just wanted to share with you that opportunity after reading that letter to see the kind of impact that you make. So guess what? I'm going to show you a second scene. If you stuck around for this little surprise, congratulations, you are welcome. This is another rough cut. This is a scene from episode 1 of season 4. This doesn't actually require a whole lot of setup. I think you'll figure it out as the scene goes on. You can watch it now the same way you're going to see it when you eventually watch this episode without a whole lot of context, but it will make sense once you are done with the scene. When we come back, I'll do a quick wrap up, and then I'm going to send you to the CW or wherever you want to go to watch the show and get those numbers up. Here is this new scene, rough cut from episode 1 of season 4. Check it out right now. All right, we've got very little time left. I'm going to make this quick. Hope you enjoyed that scene. Just a little taste of some different kinds of things we do on The Chosen. You probably haven't seen something like that before, but it's going to be really cool. All right, thechosengifts.com, www.thechosengifts.com. I'm saying it quickly because 20% off everything in the store. That's going to go away very soon. If you're watching this live stream later after July, it might not, you're not going to still have this discount, but tonight, make sure you do it. You've got the new tumbler, the new wristbands, the new tank top, and then of course the crew neck hoodie, which is really cool. It's got the 3 fish. I'm so appreciative of you. Thank you for joining me tonight. And remember, your job is not to feed the 5,000. It is only to provide the loaves and fish. I appreciate you.